morning. All right, we're about to begin. Everybody, ready? So I got a new little script that we're going to go from today. Sorry, this will sound a little robotic the first time. It'll be better, I promise. So welcome to 1 Million Cups. Who is the first time here? All right, first time. Wow. Awesome. Yeah. I want to thank you for coming. Show of hands. We'd like to meet with you guys afterwards. So if you'd like to stick around and meet with some of the organizers or some of the other entrepreneurs in the room, we'd love to sit around and have a chat. While you're here, we would like to ask that you think of business owners and entrepreneurs that you know that can benefit from this network meeting and would like to take advantage of this group or this forum. It's a great place for you to feedback on your business ideas. You know, go out for 6 minutes, 20 minutes feedback, and to meet people. So please enjoy. We're glad you all came today. Thank you. It's a mission for 1 Million Cups. It's free. We're a weekly national program designed to educate, engage, and connect entrepreneurs. We're developed by the Kauffman Foundation up in Kansas City. We're based on the notion that 1 Million Cups is based on the notion that entrepreneurs discover solutions and network over 1 million cups of coffee. What is it, 72 cities? 75 cities that 1 Million Cups takes place in. So 75 cities around the world, there's people sitting down right now doing the same exact thing. Our meetings are Wednesday, 9 a.m. for 1 hour. We have 2 presenters that present for 6 minutes each, 2 local entrepreneurs. And then we host questions and answers afterwards. Our presenters are selected with the following criteria. Entrepreneurs that are 3 years or younger in their business stage. Scalable or disruptive, different than what you currently see in existence. Each presenter must audition or rehearse to a group of organizers and be selected for a Wednesday presenter. All right, so that's it. We're going to go ahead and go with our first presenter, which is Brian Carpenter from 4D Sales. All right.
Good morning, folks. Thank you. Our company, 4D Sales, happens to be what's called a passport company, which means we have presented at other 1 million cups. Tulsa, St. Louis, we've been up in Kansas City, even at the mothership, so to speak. And there's a pretty interesting theme that continues to come through, and I say this for especially for folks that are new to this, is it is extraordinarily helpful to those of us and you guys as well, as you are in different stages really with your business. So just really a plug for 1 Million Cups. The name of our company is 4D Sales. It's an iPad or Windows 8/10 application for salespeople. I'm actually going to be using it today to discuss a little bit about what we do. You'll see when actually I'll set this to where we can see. This is our implementation of 4D Sales, and what it is, it's an iPad or a Windows 8/10 tablet designed to help salespeople by amplifying their ability. We have a whole series of different customers. These are their implementations. This is a company that's in the medical device business. They are under $3 million a year in revenue. Another one of our customers is here in Oklahoma City, Medley. And Medley is a distributor of forklifts and all types of material handling equipment. They're about a $50 to $60 million company. Our largest, as far as just pure size, is Phillips 66, their aviation group. And these guys are $50+ billion in sales. And the basic premise of this is based on this idea that sales calls really haven't changed much in over 30 years. And we speak to that with a degree of confidence because the three of us that founded 4D all began our careers back with the IBM Corporation many, many years ago. And this is what technology looked like. Now, for some of you who are younger in here, you've never seen some of this. But this is basically what technology looked like back then. You know, the same brochures like the Big Johnson engine brochure up there. We had these things called foils, and if you were really a hot shot, you got a 35 millimeter slideshow. But this is what technology looked like back then, and in fact, those same type of content are still here today. We just have it now in electronic form. This is one of our clients, but this is a brochure. I've just got it in an electronic format that I can email. This is another one of our clients, but this is a PowerPoint presentation. And you know what? I can do this exact same thing on a 35 millimeter slide. So the content itself hasn't changed much. The delivery mechanism has changed quite a bit. And in fact, this is a video we just interlaced. I don't have the volume on this. But this is Elon Musk, the chairman of Tesla, speaking at the 2014 shareholders meeting. What does he do? He throws up the same old chart that we've been used to seeing over and over again. And we say, so what? Why does anyone care? Well, the reason we care is buyers have changed. Any of you guys sell anything to anybody? Or been involved in that? Well, the one thing we know 100% for sure is that while sales calls haven't changed, buyers have. And this is a great article from the Harvard Business Review that said, look, technology has allowed for customers to radically change how they go about doing business. And unfortunately, we have been commoditized. And we get into this idea of we are actually doing, they call them price-driven bake-offs. I thought that was a very great line. Buyers have changed. But we also have seen this, and this came from McKinsey. Even with all of that technology that's out there, the single most important fact in actually getting a transaction to be done, and again, as aspiring entrepreneurs, that's what everybody in here is looking for, someone who's going to give us money for what we do. The single most important factor across all different businesses, across all different time, or all different kind of industries, is salespeople. Salespeople are the single most important factor on whether or not a transaction is going to take place. And in fact, if you look at the touch points, this is McKinsey's I'm going to lay it out for you. How in a B2B environment, how do people want to be interacted with? From consideration all the way over to purchase is I want face-to-face salespeople to be involved with me in a B2B environment. So how do we equip them? And that fundamentally is what 4D Sales did. We know that 85% of a buying decision is based on that direct interaction between a salesperson and a company. And so how do we equip a salesperson to be more persuasive? And how do we equip them to be more prepared? From a persuasion standpoint, and this is one of my favorite things, and if I told you I am a salesperson for toilet paper dispensers, there's probably nothing more of a commodity in this world than toilet paper dispensers, for crying out loud. But I'm going to ask you to spend 20% more on my toilet paper dispenser because I have the absolute best toilet paper dispenser in the world. They are indestructible. Now, I can tell you that and say, man, I am indestructible in what I do. And you're going to say, okay. Or, what if, instead of telling you, I show you. What's more impressive? What sets the stage? A visual or me telling you? Well, obviously, seeing somebody take a baseball bat to a toilet paper dispenser says, okay, I get that. And we see this over and over and over with our customers. If I can represent something to you visually, you believe it. If I tell you something, you say, I got to see it for myself. So much of content today has changed. And content is visual. Content is video-driven. Content is no longer static. And how do I put that content into the hands of salespeople in an intuitive and an interactive way? We know that buyers' power has increased. And so let's do what we can to help create persuasion. So I'm going to jump over to this. This is another piece of technology that's part of what we do. We've integrated it. This is a clean room from one of our clients. They actually go out and they measure emissions. And they get a lot of customers to say, hey, show me some of your places. Well, what they have done is they now actually have a tour, an interactive tour that someone can get in. And I can now move you around, or what's even cooler is I actually can give you a walking tour if I want to. I have created content that is no longer static to help convey an idea. Salespeople are there to make an impression and to persuade. People process information visually. Nobody can do that better than that. The other thing that we look at is preparedness. And again, I'll stop here. If I can carry with me on my device every possible single piece of content that my clients could ever need to be able to answer questions that are important to them, because they themselves, just like us, are absolutely impatient to get an answer, I have increased the likelihood that a salesperson will go forward and make a transaction. I know I am way over the 6-minute timeline that they've given, but here's the basic idea. What we've done is we've taken technology and we have simplified the ability for a salesperson or anyone who's trying to persuade to have every single piece of content, both static, think of static as any type of printed piece of material, including PowerPoint, to interactive, which includes a whole series of different types of content. And I put it and I make it resident right here on a tablet, so that a rep, without ever having to be tethered to the internet, has everything they need on a tablet that they can carry with them and walk with them and have a conversation with a customer anywhere, anytime. That's 40 seconds and longer than 6 minutes. So thanks, guys. Thanks, folks.
Let's start with the easy one. What is the cost?
It's a subscription model. It's $40 per user per month. So if you had a rep wanting 40 sales per year, it's $480. If you have 10 reps, multiply times 10. Yes, sir.
Great job presenting the product.
Oh, thank you.
Good job of kind of giving us a clear picture of the need and the value proposition. What's not clear to me is your business and your business model. So you have some cool technology. Are you, and I heard that it's a subscription model, so I get that piece of it. But are you just effectively a technology company? Are you a consulting company? How do you work with your clients? What's the nature of that relationship?
Yeah, thank you. We started as a consulting company. We had, when I left the Dollar Thrifty Group, I was the vice president of sales, marketing, advertising, and distribution, all that stuff. I had bought a company in Tulsa that was really a sales training company. And I got into more and more consultative type stuff just based on my background. One of the things that became very, very apparent is most companies have a revenue strategy. I mean, good, but they have it. The second thing that they have are salespeople, and their skills will vary from very good to is they can barely fog a mirror, and why do we still have them? But what they don't have are tools that will help them in the actual call themselves. Most companies by now have installed a CRM. Are you all familiar with those? And that's really good pre and post. But it doesn't help at all for that face-to-face interaction. We saw a piece that was missing. So a little over 2.5 years ago, one of the partners at 4D brought to me this idea because of tablets. Tablets now shifted things, and said, I've got an idea of how we can put content on a tablet so that reps could have it. And it was a great idea, but complicated. And one thing sales reps will not do is anything that's complicated. They'll throw technology away if it's hard to use. We went through iteration after iteration after iteration to make it simple. Once that was done, we actually built it and started showing it to customers. Would you buy it? Yeah, I'll buy it. Okay. We went full forward and formed a company and started our development. About a year and a half ago, are you all familiar with I2E? Anyone in here? Okay, I2E funded us to the tune of about $500,000. And we have spoken on behalf of I2E a number of times. And that was to develop the product, to take it into what we call the enterprise level. It's a long way around the barn to get back to the original question. Our business model is fundamentally based upon a technology that we provide to salespeople. The consultative work that we do is really on training them on how to get started, and sometimes we'll build the first iteration for them. We charge them a fee for that. Most of our customers, because of how intuitive we make this, their sales and marketing people do it themselves. So we make money off of a subscription model, $40 per user per month, plus what we charge to do install and training. Did that answer your question, or did I skirt too far around?
Thank you.
That's what we do. Yes, sir.
So Brian, could you share with us, now that it's been implemented in a couple of companies, I don't know if it's been out there long enough to where they can measure the delta in what their sales, revenue was beforehand and what it's like now because of using this tool?
Yeah, we've seen 3 different things, and it's kind of funny. Some of our clients will not let us use their names because of what has happened, but there are 3 things that have happened universally. It's shortened the sales cycle. Whatever their sales cycle was, it's been compressed down. And the reason for that is now when a rep is in front of a customer, instead of I'll get back to you on that, they have the content that they need to be able to answer the question no matter where it's going. So the number of times that they say, well, I'll have to get back to you, has gone down. When you say I get back to you, client never takes your call. The second thing that has happened is because they carry all of their product line with them, now our customers are selling more of stuff they didn't normally sell. Reps tend to focus in on 1 or 2 products without selling the entire product line. The third thing that has happened is when a new product is announced, they've been able to onboard the reps and distribute content and training on that, and their ability then to get the product to the market has been much quicker. All that put into you stir all that up, what we've seen is revenue increases about 3 to 4 times what they had expected they were going to get. Margins have gone up, and the breadth of product sets that they sell has increased. We have one company in here that's actually seen their market share within a particular market go from 8% to 11%, and that's huge. That's huge. They will not let us use their name. We have another that actually did let us use their name. It was Medley Materials. You saw it. They onboard their new reps now with 40 sales. And there's this uncanny thing that happens. People will not sit down at a computer anymore to learn something, but they will take a tablet and they will spend time watching videos or the learnings or going through the thing. They'll do that with a tablet, but they won't do it on a computer. So their onboarding actually was cut by about 50%. So those are some of the benefits. There's some cost benefits. We've got a client that's here in Oklahoma City that they do all of the landscaping work out at Remington Park, and you know they're high-end landscaping. They completely quit producing brochures, printing brochures. They still produce them, but now they use 4D. They're there, and if a client wants them, they get email and send the brochure out. So they justified just on cost savings, not on the revenue side. Yes, sir.
So what is the initial setup when you go into a company, and what are the costs associated with it?
Yeah, here's what happens. If you look, this is our implementation of 4D, and I need to do one thing here. What's showing touches? If you look, there's three different things that we spend time with. In 4D, you can brand 4D however you want to. You brand up here. That's just our logo. You brand here in the background, and you brand here based on these categories. These categories can be, you have as many of them as you want. And in those categories, when I touch on them, for example, we did a presentation, Seat Step Angel. See up in the upper left-hand corner? So when I touch on this, a carousel jumps up. Inside that carousel is content, whatever content you want it to be. And what we do, coming back to your answer, to answer your question, is we spend time with customers trying to help them set up what they want this thing to look like. And if you'll bear with me for just a second, I'll just show you how some of our clients have done this. Now, some of them you say, oh, that's ugly. Others you'll say, oh, okay, I like it. But this is a company, they make pneumatic valves. And what they make are these things right here. This is how they chose to brand theirs. And I'll just flip through. Oh, this is This is a company in Tulsa that sells windows. Burnett Windows and Siding. This is theirs. I think this is a little too busy for my taste. They love this. So what we do is we help them with that. This is a local office supply company. I think that one really looks pretty cool myself. This is Kicker in Stillwater. You know, the thumping speakers, boom, boom, boom. That's these folks. And so what we do is we train their sales and marketing folks on how to load content into 4D. It's loaded, again, through the cloud, through Dropbox, Box, off the PC, through Google. A lot of different companies have a lot of different places that they put content now. It's just not in the hands of customers, or in reps. And so that's what we do. The second thing that we do is then we help them set up their users. Because one of the things that happens here with 4D, let's say I have 100 users all around the country, or in the case of one of our clients, Steve Williamson, they have 130 all around the world. And they want to have a new product line. Well, we get them all, we get them set up, and when TD wants to send new content out or pull back, we teach them how to do that. So the only thing a rep does when new content gets out, they see, oh, I've got new content. They hit it, and it populates itself. A rep doesn't have to be a technologist. We want our reps to sell. So that's what we end up doing. We train them and we let them go.
And can you say what the cost is?
Yeah, it varies based on how many folks that they have and how much, but it's anywhere from, oh gosh, $1,200 up to about $3,000. We haven't done one for $3,000 in a while. We did that because we probably had 15 training sessions. A lot of them we did by GoToMeeting. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yes, sir?
You mentioned that this is iOS and Windows platform.
Mm-hmm.
Android development?
No, and here's the reason why. It's agnostic. I mean, we work for IBM, they made all technology. In companies, we're just not seeing the demand. We have yet to have a single company come to us and say, well, we use Android as our company standard for devices. Phones, that's one thing. But for tablets, we just haven't seen it. And if there was a demand for it, we do it tomorrow. Because we really don't care. We do write, or we don't. I don't. Mike and others do. We write to the operating system, so that if we did it for Windows 10, it's going to behave that way. It's not this. We don't write so that it can be exchanged through all these different platforms. We write so that it takes advantage of that platform. It's a little more expensive to do it that way. And then we have customers that have both. You know, they have the iPads and Windows. Great, cool. But not on Android yet. If there's a demand, we'll do it tomorrow. Just don't have it. Yes, sir?
Can you talk a little bit about what was actually developed? Was it by your company? Did you outsource it? Just how did this come to exist?
Yeah, we did all of the design ourselves, and then we hired firms, people, gamers, to write 40 sales for us. And so they were not our employees, but you know how you contract and intellectual property and all that moves. But we did all of the design, but we outsourced development to actually a series of gamers.
As you were going through the startup phase of this, what were some of the biggest challenges you guys faced and how did you overcome those?
Oh gosh, we're not through overcoming them, obviously. Probably the biggest challenge that we run into is just, how do you get noticed? Even if you have something really cool, how do you get noticed? There used to be a point in time you got noticed by just simply putting something up on the web. Boy, those days have been gone for a long time. You know, iTunes or the App Store on Apple has, I think, 1.1 million apps now. How do you get noticed? Especially if you're not in entertainment or gaming. How do you get noticed? How do you get a client to want to find you? Yeah. But that is, I mean, there is nothing glamorous about that at all. I mean, that's just down and dirty work. You're getting in front of customers. You're talking to them. You're showing. You're demonstrating. You're giving away. You're encouraging. You're doing 1,000 different things. But that getting noticed. Great ideas are not enough. The second thing, and this has been a real interesting one, we entered into a market where apps were free. And before we moved to a subscription model, we were charging over $1,000 a seat. $1,000 for an iPad app? We customers pay it because the value is there. Don't be afraid to price your product based on what it's really worth. And that's very, very difficult for young companies and entrepreneurs. Yes, ma'am, I think I'm getting ready to get kicked off this stage, and I saw you raise your hand. Yes, ma'am.
Who do you think is your closest competitor?
We haven't found anyone who has done all the different things. The biggest competitor that we have right now is status quo, which I'm just not going to do anything. There's a company based out of Belgium called Chopin that does bits and pieces of what we do. That's the closest that we've seen. But that's 40 sales, and I think I'm done, right?
Yeah. As a 1 million cups community, what can we do to kind of help you out with 40 sales?
This is real straightforward, and I hope when you all are asking, you all are up here, if you or you know somebody that needs what we do, tell them about us or introduce us to them. And when you all are standing up here with your products and your company, I hope that you respond that same way, which is please just help us get what we do or what you do out in front of people that this would be meaningful to. So, again, thank you all for your time.
All right, so next up we're going to have Paul Conradi. He's going to come up. Thank you, Paul. And he's going to tell us a little bit. Does anybody here remember him from his first one, Crime Scene? All right, he's coming back up to kind of tell you what's happened since he presented at 1 Million Cups OKC.
Zach, do I have access to the internet and a mouse?
Yes, I believe we do.
We cannot get out. I thought you were going to go and do something. I didn't know you were going to call on me. If you're rigged up, go ahead. And let me follow you if you have time, because I'm just going to.
Okay.
So go ahead. But I will need internet and because that's.
What I'm the internet.
I don't know.
Huh?
We've secured the internet.
Okay.
Well, mine's like 45 minutes long, so.
Well, you want me to do that?
Is yours too short?
No, go ahead.
We've got extra stuff in case.
Well, I'm ready. Okay. If I run it short, that would be great. Well, the reason I wanted, Zach came and spoke to our Inventors Congress last night, had a great, if you guys have anyone that doesn't know what crowdfunding is, if you can get a bunch of people in front of Zach, it was so awesome, his presentation. And we're now meeting here because of Million Cups. There's so many things that have changed in my world. I came to Rose State, and now our Inventors Congress, we're a patenting club, which the millennials don't patent. Do they? Greg, why don't you come up and... You got me there? But we had a great meeting. We're now meeting here at Rose State. That's one thing that's changed. I have presented in Tulsa, and then I presented in Springfield, Missouri, and then I presented here. And since we started that, since we started that, it's been awesome what all's happened. So I just wanted to. I'm not an Apple guy, so bear with me. So what I was trying to sell to everyone, my industry, the alarm industry, the video installation industry, and I don't have ads popping up, so I can't show my deal. Do we have ads? There they are. So what I was trying to sell my industry is the Pro 35. I had a company, a state company in Oklahoma City and a statewide company that had a footprint in Oklahoma, in Tulsa. I had a very large deal setting on their table. I said, hey, if you guys will adopt this, I'll go to work for you because I'm going to prove the concept. You won't fail. We'll bring business. This is what I can do. Both of them said they wanted to do it. The deal was on their table. They wouldn't sign off on it. My son, who's been in the business, I used to own Edmund Security. My son, who's been in the business for 32 years with me, and what is he, 34 years old? But so he was cutting keys when he was a little kid. He said, hey, Dad, he had just sold a $700,000 video project to this McAllister school system. And he said, hey, Dad, I'm ready to give up what I'm doing because I believe so much in what you put together with Crime Scene. If those guys haven't signed off on that, don't let them. I'm going to quit. I'm going to form my own company, and I'm going to do your vision because I can't believe no one gets it. So I held off, waited for him. My brother and Jared went into business together to create Pro 35. And what I actually wanted to show you was the concept. If you understand what, so we built a second responder team. So he's gone out into like industries, meaning crime-related industries, and he's recruiting these industries to join him on Crime Scene. Instead of us paying for marketing, we're bringing the other companies in to share our concept with them, and they market our concept to build our user base. So when you go to Pro 35, that icon I just clicked on, that is the what we call second responder team. So now we're adding the other sponsors to Crime Scene in the Oklahoma City market only to join Crime Scene. The ones that you see filled out here, There's a firearm business, there's a gate automation business, Pro 35 obviously, State Farm, who's looks like we've got a shot at a national sponsorship. But in the Oklahoma City market, Pro 35 pays me $1,000 a month. As they reach out to these individual industries, they pay me $1,000 a year. And I split that revenue with Pro 35. On top of that, Pro 35 is giving a $50 referral to every video system that's installed because of this marketing strategy. So all of the people that are getting on at $1,000 a year will probably make money because they're all in the crime business. Imagine, has anybody ever been a victim of crime in here? So who did you call after that crime?
Well, you call the police, and then you call the glass repair guy to come fix your car, and then you call
the door repair,
call
the video company, you want cameras.
You call your mom, let her know you're okay.
So if you got so what we've done is we've come up with a card that has a picture, a surveillance picture of a guy inside a house. And so when the glass company shows up and they say, man, what have you done so far? Well, I called the police and said, well, I have a way to help you solve this crime. There's 3,000 private investigators on crime scene. All we have to do is file a report in Oklahoma City, and 3,000 people are going to get that. My crew of people on the back is all a list of trades. If you don't mind, pass those around. On the back of it is a list of the trades people. You flip it over, you QR code that, that's where you land. And understand that we built this second responder team because time is of the essence. So I'm the glass shop that's just happened. The glass shop's really the first people called virtually every time. I'm going to help them file that report, and I'm going to put my name, ABC Glass, in the report. And now every time somebody sees that report and opens that report, not only do they see the advertisement on the side of the page, but they see that I'm directly involved and that I care. There's not a whole lot of companies that are doing this for their clients. If there was, I would know about it. No, they're not on us yet. So when you get a report, this is what it looks like. Somebody filed it. Haven't seen that one. So when you get a report, all these advertisers, what's so huge about State Farm is State Farm saw this and they said, Paul, we're not in the crime business, but I can't get homeowner associations as our biggest client. We're very competitive in that world, and I can't get in front of a homeowner group. But if I have crime scene, the goodwill of taking crime scene in front of a homeowner group and telling them what I can do for them, you can't buy that. So he sent to 20 of his agents in Oklahoma City, he said, guys, we got to get on board with this. So that email went out yesterday. I got my first sign up yesterday. He's talking to 20 other people. I said, hey, if you get 10 people in Oklahoma City on State Farm, with State Farm on crime scene, then I'm going to put in Oklahoma City, I'm going to put a State Farm logo up, and it's going to land you on those participating State Farm agents. There's 45 State Farm agents in Oklahoma City. And if you understand State Farm's mentality, they're very neighborhood oriented. So now as we're doing presentations in that neighborhood that's having the crime problem, State Farm's reaching out to that neighborhood and saying, let me come and show you what crime scene is. Let me show you what we can do to help you. And I guess I got a slow internet connection. So anyway, all this came about. This didn't even exist when I did my first Million Cup presentation in Tulsa. That's what I wanted to tell you, is it's amazing the people that I've met. Zach came and did a presentation for us last night in crowdfunding. Nick's part of our Inventors Congress and is involved there. The networking that goes on in here when you do a presentation and the feedback you get is just awesome. I showed this concept to a guy that owns a mortgage. I was asked because Robert introduced me to a private investigator who's now on with crime scene. I met here. He got me involved with a guy at a mortgage company, and that mortgage company wants to take my concept and he wants to own that $1,000 per month. He wants to own that $1,000 per month project. I don't know why that's... So, get back there. He wants to own the $1,000 per month so that he can go out and sell all these. So that he can go out and sell all this. He said, Paul, I can double my money. Just the people I know that are going to be on board with this. He's real into the banking and the realtors. And he said, I already know I can pick up the phone and fill this up and double my money. All that came about because of people I met at Million Cups. That's all I wanted to share, Zach, when we were talking is when you make connections here and then you bring other people in to come and do their presentation, this thing just kind of snowballs on itself. And I've got 3 friends that have patented products that I'm trying to get here to do a presentation, and you all scare them. I guess they just don't have it to get up in front of a big group of people because they got awesome products. They've gone through the process, are based in Oklahoma City, and I'm trying to get them here. And we all need to do that. We all know people that are launching things here in Oklahoma City, and we need to get them to Million Cups to make those connections. So anyway, I just wanted to get up and tell you what happened since I got going. We're actually making money now, and it's exploding. They're up in Enid. There's a guy up in Enid that wants to do this in Woodward, Enid, Perry, and Stillwater, and he's launching Crime Scene in all those markets. So Oklahoma this week, Texas next week, months. But Oklahoma this month, Texas next month, and hopefully we get this thing blowing up. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you for coming up and doing as well. All right, I'm going to take one quick moment. I was going to talk about crowdfunding, but crowdfunding it's like a 45-minute ordeal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share one tool with you guys that we use for crowdfunding and that everybody else can use for their business. Who here has a business and is active on social media or has a department that is active on social media? Everybody? A few people? All right. All right, so are you guys building email lists? You building email lists?
That's what you taught me last night, how to do it. So I'm going to get going.
All right, so I know Dave's working on his email list. You're working on it.
You taught Paul.
You should have came to the inventors conference.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I didn't know it was going on.
Well, we're going to
I was actually with Gitch doing a podcast there.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's get to this tool real quick. All right, so you guys build an email list. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but one tool that we use, did you ever share anybody else's content? I know with 1 Million Cups, we share other people's articles and things like that. You guys share other people's content every once in a while just to fill the social media, because we know we're supposed to post several times a day, multiple times a day to build this email list. But this little tool that we got right here that we use is called Sniply. Anybody heard of Sniply?
Sniply.
SNIP.ly. It's free. Yeah, it does short the URL. But what's even cooler about it is let's take this right here. No, that ain't gonna work. Let's find an article on Entrepreneur.
If we go to your website, do you have the list of successful crowdfundings that you've done?
Not yet. Okay.
Too many to name.
Yes.
Too many to name.
Millions.
Notice I said successful.
1 million.
There's a few. I'll admit it. There's a few.
Well, hey, that's a learning deal, man. I can't believe what all we learned last night.
All right, so here's an article on Entrepreneur. Let's say we want to share this with our audience. I don't know what the article is. I just clicked on a random one. So we're going to take this URL, we're going to copy it, go to Sniply, just like we're going to shorten it. See over there to the right? This is how many free clicks you get a month. It's 1,000 max. We've used 224 so far. I guess I can point it out right here. Sorry, the internet's just a little slow. This is 12 mind tricks that will make people like you and help you get ahead.
What are you, Jedi's? No kidding. I'm so glad somebody said that. You really.
Alright, so we posted it in there. You notice this little box pops up, says create Sniply. You can brand it yourself. You put a little logo on it. Here's the URL. Put a little message in. We got a free ebook that we're giving away, so claim your free ebook, and here's the URL to our MailChimp. Click create. See down here at the bottom? So anytime you share this URL, We share it on social media, somebody clicks on it. Look at the bottom, right there. 1 million in funding, 13 campaigns, 1 session, claim your free ebook. It stays with the entire page the entire time, and you scroll down, scroll up. It's a free little tool. You click on it, take you straight to my email list. You guys can sign up. So if you're building your email list and you want to share other people's content and you want to do it through social media, Sniply is a great tool that you can use. All right, 200. It's absolutely free. You get 1,000 clicks a month, and that's pretty much it. That's as simple as it gets right there.
Well, I dig it.
Yeah. So if you want to build an email list just on the side while you're just kind of sharing content, just content to keep people engaged, might as well use Sniply.
Hey, I'll share something to back it up. It's kind of generated our conversation yesterday. There was an article in Inc. There was a video yesterday from Derek Halpern that he did that we shared out
on the Facebook group.
On the Facebook group. And if you watch the video, Derek says his biggest mistake when he started his online marketing was he focused on social media, not on his email list. He said, if I could go back and do it over again, I would dump all the time I spent on social media and grow that list. And
why is that?
Because he had 500 to 1,000 conversions on the email list because it's engaging and people read their email. You're trying to engage your 30,000 Twitter followers, millions of people out there posting stuff every day, and you're missing. It's getting lost in the stack. The video is really good. It's 8 minutes.
Another reason that you want to build your email list versus building a social media account, you have 300,000 people on Facebook, but I'll go ahead and take 1,000 to 2,000 people on an email list any day. Because why? People cancel, delete their Facebook accounts, they change their Twitter accounts, they move houses more times than they actually change your email address, because it is a pain in the ass to change your email address. Lee.
Conversions through email are 70 times more likely than any other source.
Exactly. I mean, Halpern's video that Zach shared yesterday on the page is awesome. I mean, it was definitely 8 minutes well spent, and it's funny.
It's right here. Facebook page, Facebook group. It's our Facebook group.
Yeah.
1 million cups OKC.
I got it. Okay.
So make sure, yeah. And Derek Halpern, he's great. Check him out on YouTube. He's got great ways to start. What's that?
No, I need to figure out how to do this and did that.
The Sniply?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, don't go back and do it.
If you go on to Sniply, it walks you right through it.
Really?
It's very simple.
Do you have
because you're smarter than me, I'm sure.
It's not MailChimp, it's
like Constant Contact or Aweber or...
Dude, that's complicated questions early. it's some kind of mail, some animal, chimp or zebra or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Zach, can you open another browser and show us where you shared this, not through Sniply, but where is it shared? Because right now you're logged into Sniply, so I want to see it without you being logged in.
You want to see what it looks like on Twitter? Is that what you mean? Or
no, I want to see it.
On your Facebook?
No, I want to see it in another browser, i.e. Safari, whatever.
Oh.
What does it look like to an end user?
Okay, here.
Yeah, there you go. What does it look like to an end user? Somebody has not.
That's what it looks like.
It looks like
you just
that.
see right there. That's it. That's exactly what it looks like right here. And it's also on mobile too. So if you got a mobile and you pull it up on mobile, there'll be an address bar all the way across the bottom of the mobile screen that shows your logo, your little message, your company name. You can click on that too. That's clickable. Take you back to the website. Whatever your message is, claim your free ebook. And it's also branded by Sniply.
I don't think he's on Sniply. He's actually on the entrepreneur.
Yeah, it takes you to the website.
So it actually puts it on this over.
Yeah,
it puts it like whatever article you're sharing.
Yeah.
Now there are some websites that you can't do that to, like Kickstarter or like YouTube or something like that. You can't share a YouTube video and it will overlay there. They just won't allow it. Facebook the same way, but I mean you can still post these to Facebook. You can post that little short URL that we had. It's a little.
What's the
this little URL right here? You can post it anywhere. Write a little message, throw it up on like here. We'll post one. It creates it. Yeah, that's where everybody is.
You just posted a thing at the bottom. Where you might find that?
This part right here?
No. Yes, where did that post to from Snipply? It went to the entrepreneur.
But all I did was I took the short link and I put it in a new browser and opened it up so you can see. It's the same equivalent as clicking on it.
I'm not being clear.
But normally, he would take that short link and put it in a Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do.
Facebook or something.
entrepreneurs.com, so he's sharing his own URL. Like, it's not the entrepreneur website.
Yeah, it's actual.
It's a snip.
Yeah, it's like a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit.
It's a bit.
Here, we got the snip link, right?
It's
Look at here.
It's a bit snipply.
Bitly will forward you to actually entrepreneurs.com.
Oh, I guess it doesn't.
On like
So I got the link. We go to
the other
Facebook.
thing there. That's good.
Put it in there. And publish. Now, if everybody goes to our Facebook page, you click on that, you can see exactly what it looks like on mobile. 1 Million Cups OKC.
Actually, it's 1 million cups Oklahoma City.
1 Million Cups Oklahoma City.
Because I was trying to find OKC. It was
What about the page? I think the group's 1 Million Cups.
Yeah.
So does Snipply offer analytics on these links? You can click
They
on
do
it?
if you pay. I'm cheap though. So,
How much? I mean, is it expensive?
no, I think it's not too expensive. I don't know actually. To be honest with you. I did a podcast with a guy, but I can't remember. So I got a podcast if y'all want to check it out with the founder of Snipply. Kind of plugging myself there.
The Facebook
Go ahead.
page, didn't we do a step-by-step how-to on the Facebook on our website? For us, like we did.
We did, didn't we?
So, Facebook page, not the one.
Pages.
That's what I've got. Came up
I'll post it in the group. We got a step-by-step guide on how to exactly use Snipply. Okay. We'll post that in the Facebook group.
What's the next part?
Huh?
What's the next part?
That was it. That was the tool that I'm showing you, Snipply.
He's just showing off.
No, I'm just showing you Snipply. That's just wanted you guys to have it out there. And it's free. It's a great resource.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you want to share on social media, you want to dig in, there you go. All right. Go ahead.
Can you talk about the importance of cross-promoting?
No, that's crowdfunding. We'll go back next time. We'll have to do a crowdfunding talk some other time. We were going to do it today, but we had a miscommunication. So we'll have another one. So you guys got to keep coming back. We'll let you know when that will be. But
Just a couple of announcements before we wrap up. One of the things we find value in is sharing, ideas like Zach just did. We'd encourage you to either post your ideas in the Facebook group, on Facebook, Twitter, for other people to see. I also brought some handouts about upcoming events and other startup entrepreneurial organizations that have great resources. You may actually see a repeat of last year's startup weekend. You were talking about
November
this last
13th
week, right?
and the 23rd. I don't know when the actual date. Do we know the date yet?
I don't know yet. It's different in every city, so some of the resources on here you can visit. And I don't know who organized it last year, but our goal is to try and be as inclusive as we can around these, make sure that people know. So if you know of events and things like that that people should also be aware of, help share those things. And if there's people you'd like to see or concepts you'd like to learn through 1 Million Cups, share that with us too. We're monitoring the channel so that we can bring people in and do things like talk about crowdfunding, stuff like that. So this is a community-based thing. We know we've got 2 presenters lined up for next week, but we want to be able to program things that are meaningful to the audience as well. So besides presenters, so any ideas you have, by all means, share them with us, and feel free to grab a copy as you're leaving. Yeah, Tom.
Any possibility you get some barbecue sauce guys up there? I'm really looking for some good barbecue sauce.
So anybody know somebody at Head Country?
We asked them to present this morning, but I don't know.
Y'all said something about an audition, so I had to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I could have done that with easy.
So here's something about the audition process. It's very easy to get online. Go to 1millioncups.com/OKC. That'll take you to our community page on 1 Million Cups, and in there is a sign-up process. If you sign up, you don't have to sign up just to present. You can sign up, and that way you're on our automatic notification list. But there's an application section in there too that says, hey, I'm interested in presenting at 1 Million Cups, and it walks you through it. There's a couple videos they want you to watch. And then there's kind of a form that you fill out with specific questions and answers. When you do that, we will then reach back out to you to schedule an audition. And there's two reasons to do an audition. One is you're just looking for feedback on how you present it. And there's usually an audience of 5 to 8 people, from experienced startups like Dave King and others, who are there to provide you with valid feedback. And we've seen a lot of people drastically improve their presentations just with one session. And you may say, that's what I needed. You may also say, I want to be able to present that here, and so the feedback you get at those sessions is designed to help you be prepared to give the best possible presentation. Think about things that the audience may be interested in. Know what questions to anticipate in the Q&A session, things like that. So it's not meant to necessarily be a hurdle, but a helpful educational tool for people. So don't be intimidated by it.
Like I said, if there's any topics like email list building or anything like that that you guys want to know more about, or would like to have somebody come up and actually speak about that, or any type of social media marketing, or anything that you guys need to know about business, post it into the group, post it on the Facebook page, like Gunnar said, and we'll talk amongst organizers and make it happen.
More email list building classes.
No. On the group.
Just throw it out there, man. I'll go through the group.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, a concept we've been talking about too that may come to fruition, knowing that we've got Startup Weekend coming up in November, is in the first quarter we're having conversations about what about an Entrepreneur Day, to where we could have specific segments like how to build an email list, other speakers, other things that would help people from the community that support startups, whether it's financing and crowdfunding, whether it's patenting, things of that sort. So we're having idea processes around that. So feed our ideas. Tell us what would be valuable to you as a community to learn about in something like that, and we'll work to put it together. Yeah, Dave?
Yeah, you mentioned other entrepreneurial organizations and functions. How would one publicize something here about something somewhere else?
Well, you have a venue right now.
Yeah. You can email me.
What do you want to share?
There's and this is for the subset of entrepreneurs who happen to be of faith. There's an Entrepreneurs of Faith conference coming up in December. I think it's December 12th, something like that. I have to check the exact date.
I'll give it to you afterwards.
So part of the value too of this is networking opportunities. So Dave, let me introduce you to Russ McGuire, who is the new head of entrepreneurship for Oklahoma Christian. A program that hasn't even started, but he's here to help start that. So you two probably want to talk. Yes.
Last
Back to newsletters, email list. Get on a schedule, stay on a schedule, don't leave that schedule, make sure you follow that schedule religiously.
Yeah. Did everybody hear that? Make sure you get a schedule, like posting, use Hootsuite, Bufferat, Buzzsprout, all the other ones, whichever one you choose. Use one of them to post and schedule it every week. We do it every Sunday night.
Consistency is key.
Yep. All right, well, thank you all for coming out.
Thank
you guys. Questions.
A new meeting place next week for 1 week. This room isn't available. It'll be at the auditorium at the Steed Center, which is right at the corner of Cuterberg Drive and Tinker Diagonal. It's the building on the west side of the road. You'll walk right in, and you'll almost walk right into the auditorium.
That's not the Fab Lab.
It's across the street.
Across the street from the Fab Lab.
That's what we read last night.
Is that the theater?
That's the theater. Yeah.
All right, so next week, Steed Center.
Yep.
Thank you all for coming. Hashtag OKC.
Yes.